Keeping it honest, insightful, interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond. You're listening to the RCWR Show with your host, Lee Sanders.
Coming at you on April 13th, 2013. What's up, everybody? Seems like we have been off the air for a good minute. At least that's how it kind of feels. I know it hasn't been that long, but I always love it when we come back on the air for you guys. I hope your weekend is off to a good start right now, and if you just so happen to not have the weekend off, if you're throwing it down at your job, I hope you're making it a good one. And if you're checking out our show, hey, more props to you. I hope that we're able to keep you company, kind of help you get over that little funk of having to work this weekend. Hey, we got the chat room that's loaded up right now at blogtalkradio.com. If you want to go on ahead, jump on in there, chat it up a little bit, you can do so. You can also kick on back and interact with us on Twitter. Hit us up at the Infinity1Prod. That's the best way to communicate with us on Twitter, at Infinity1Prod. You know, we also got a new show handle on Twitter. You can hit us up at the RCWR Show. Yeah. Got a new Twitter handle over at the RCWR Show. Hit that up when you get a free moment. You can also interact with us on Facebook at Infinity One Productions. While you're at it, give the page a like. We're always at heart posting a lot of great content. We got a lot of stuff that we got to dive into today, but you know, before I dive into all of those things and what you might have missed this week in wrestling, as we're kind of shaking things up just a little bit with our weekend edition, and I'll go over a little bit more details with you all, just a little bit. But first off, I want to apologize to everybody that may have been looking at our website at least within the past 30-something hours. I know depending on your respective browser, the layout of our website, it was just really freaking crazy. It was like, this is here and this is here. What the hell is this doing way over here? Long story short, we were updating the website and we came across a weird bug and we could not fix it for the love of me. And, you know, I ended up hiring a independent contractor to come in, try to clean it up. He didn't really do that much of a good job, and it wasn't done in a timely manner. So myself and a couple of other people that helped me out with the website from time to time, volunteer work, they were just cramming with me, trying to figure out what the hell was going on, and it took us a good minute to get the site fixed. But we ended up giving the website, I think it looks more cleaner. It looks more slick. You can now actually see video clips that we upload on there, just in case you might have missed key highlights from a particular episode of Raw or SmackDown. We now give you guys some cool little stuff to check out, whereas before it was just this little tiny video box that you had to try to squint your eyes, try to see what the hell was going on or blow it up. So hopefully, visually at least, navigation-wise, you guys will like it, and there's going to be a long time before we update it again. That's what we're going with. If anything, we may change the background, as it's got a sky blue thing that's going on. I kind of like it. It's nice. It's subtle. But, again, we just want to apologize to you guys that might have been experiencing a little bit of a hiccup. As a result of that, we weren't able to post any new content because all the priority went into updating the website. But it's up and running now, and actually I will be taking a huge part in article content writing as soon as I am off the air today. So those of you that's expecting some new content on the site, myself and a couple other people, we will be posting some random articles throughout the day today, just FYI. All right, so with that in mind, the new way that we're doing our weekend edition of the RCWR Show, we know in the past you guys have come to just love the way that we just kind of rewind it back and, you know, we go all in depth about Raw, the main event and all that. Well, you know, with regards to the Raw, the way I want to do it, I just want to talk about key points. And as long as Raw has more than one valid key point, I don't mind talking about Raw. But from here on out with our weekend edition, I want to just pick things right up with main event, SmackDown. Do it that way. That way we get the newer content out the way before we dive into some other stuff. But Raw was definitely explosive this past Monday night. It came to us from the Izod Center, and man, I am still thinking about it to this day. That historic episode where we finally saw the one and only Mr. Heel Ziggler himself on Twitter. Dolph Ziggler cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Alberto Del Rio to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. It was a moment that a lot of us, especially if you're a hardcore Dolph Ziggler fan, it's a moment that you have been waiting on for just an eternity. It looked as if maybe it was never going to happen, especially when the color commentators had said that, hey, Dolph Ziggler, he has until June, July to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase. You're kind of led to believe, okay, well, maybe he's not going to cash it in until then, right? But if you kind of think about how the commentators put that out there, in hindsight, it was a nice way of kind of throwing you a curveball a little bit to kind of give you the impression that he wasn't going to be cashing it in, at least anytime soon in the next couple of months. And contrary to what some people had thought, which was Dolph Ziggler's night should have been at WrestleMania. He should have cashed in the briefcase that way, as that probably in its own way would have helped make WrestleMania this year be that much more memorable. Now, I know we got guys that probably want to jump on the fence. They probably want to say, hey, man, I don't think WrestleMania was that brutally bad. I stand behind the invitation that I gave on our post show last weekend, which was if you have sat up and you have done your rounds of watching wrestling pay-per-views, all kinds of cool events that was going down last weekend leading up to WrestleMania, and you feel that WrestleMania was that damn good, then you are more than welcome to interact with us and give us your argument why you thought WrestleMania was good. But I'm sorry, I still stand behind what I said. It was a lackluster WrestleMania, but despite that, I do not feel that Dolph Ziggler should have cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on that night. I thought WWE booking was very on point, and man, you just talk about all the stars being aligned. To have that whole freaking audience at the Izod Center just erupt when Dolph Ziggler came out to cash in that briefcase, and then the pop that he receives after he defeats Alberto Del Rio, and then to know that he got a standing ovation when he went into the backstage area as he was surrounded by guys in the locker room. I mean, really, hats off to Dolph Ziggler, and I'm probably one of a few rare guys that can kick back and say to you that I've been watching Dolph Ziggler since, and I never shy away from this. I have been watching Dolph Ziggler since his days in the Spirit Squad, so I can definitely appreciate how far along he's come. He may not like the fact that he is a two-time World Heavyweight Champion, where that first run, it really doesn't count, but I'll give him the credit where it's due. Two-time World Heavyweight Champion. It's a moment that just has a lot of people talking. I can only imagine how many people that are hardcore Dolph Ziggler fans have probably taken to Twitter, Facebook, updated their wallpaper with a picture of Dolph Ziggler holding that title. Truly a badass, kick-ass moment right there. Other highlights that we saw from Raw this past Monday night, we're talking about champions being crowned. We saw a new champion get crowned in the Intercontinental Championship as Wade Barrett, less than 24 hours later after Mania, took back his Intercontinental title as he defeated The Miz. And man, the way that this match had ended, god damn, what the hell, man? Who did The Miz piss off is what I want to know, because, man, to lose a title that you won on a pre-show, and then 24 hours later, you lose it right back to the guy that you beat for it And you lose it in a way where it's not like, oh, Wade Barrett cheated to get the job done, or there was shenanigans that went down. That's why Wade Barrett became champion. Wade Barrett just cleanly, just quietly, just defeated The Miz. So I would be a little bit perplexed if I saw a match come about on Raw next week or SmackDown where these two guys go at it again. I said it before, I'll say it again. I don't know who the hell The Miz pissed off, but I'm just going to continue to sit on that and just watch that for what it's worth, because from what I saw right there, I mean, I couldn't help but say to myself, damn, okay, they built him up. They were pushing him during this whole Marine Homefront movie, and, you know, he's got a good look and all that. But then all of a sudden, you just take away the title from him? What, you know, hey, it happens. But personally, I love Wade Barrett. I love the Barrett Barrage. I want to see the guy get pushed even more. He's had somewhat of a quiet year since he's been back from his injury. I do remember that there was just a little slight bit of a spark when he came back. But, you know, he's been pretty quiet for a good while now, so I'm more than happy to see him with the Intercontinental title, so as long as he gets that respected push. That's my whole main thing. Of course, one of the main things that we got to talk about that came out of Raw this past week. How about that Ryback, John Cena? Talk about a man's man in Ryback, just clotheslining the head off of John Cena there to close out Raw, delivering shell shock, holding that WWE title up high. A good taste at that. It tastes so good of things to come, as it looks like John Cena's first title defense is going to be against the one and only Ryback. At least that's how it's looking, although if you had checked out our Wrestling Report edition of the RCWR show on Tuesday with myself and co-host Diamond K, I pointed out that, you know, as much as I would like to see these two guys get it on, I'd like to see somebody else be added into the mix. And I'm eyeballing the black silverback, Mark Henry, and the reason why I'm going in that route, and, you know, I've had a little bit of time to think about it, I still think that is the route to go. How do you top John Cena defeating the People's Champion, the Brahma Bull, the most electrifying man in all of sports entertainment, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Well, you follow it up by giving him two big, beefy opponents in a Ryback, in a Mark Henry, and you make it a triple threat match. Now, look, you already got bad blood between Ryback, Mark Henry, okay? It just makes a lot of sense. Now, how can we get to that dance? Well, I went all in depth about that this past Tuesday night, so you're more than welcome to rewind back after you get done checking out this cool episode and listen to it. I give you my takeaway, great in-depth analysis for this triple threat match to go down, but I would like to see that happen. But, you know, it looks like this is really the year of the Ryback. It looks like, whether some people like it or not, Ryback is going to be having one strong-ass year, whether you're ready for it or not. And quite honestly, Ryback, I'll go on record, he still has ways to go. But the look, the marketability, the fact that the fans are kind of dying down on the Goldberg chants, they're really getting into that whole feed me more, all that good stuff. I'm telling you, man, Ryback, he could be, if continued to be done properly, and I think WWE has been doing a good job in the way they've been pushing him. I truly believe that he can be one of the top baby faces. I know some people, they kind of looked at what he did to Cena there, and they want to question if he's going the heel route. I don't see that going down. If anything, I just see Ryback kind of just drawing that line and saying, you know, John Cena, nothing personal, it's just that you have something that I want, and I will not be satisfied. My hunger will not be quenched or fulfilled until I get that WWE title. And unfortunately, you're the guy holding it. Gimme. You know, that's pretty much my whole takeaway from Ryback. So, yeah, I'm loving it. I know we probably got some guys, and we know there's knuckleheads out there. They probably make 15, 20-minute videos bitching and moaning and complaining about Ryback. We got some that'll have the audacity to say that they created Ryback on their respected WWE versus SmackDown or whatever video game, and say that they're the originator of that, and wonder, you know, how come they aren't getting their props for this creation or whatever, all that type of silly crap. But I like Ryback. He's awesome. In-ring wise, he still has a little ways to go. I'll go out there. I'll jump out there. I think with 2 more years of in-ring competition, Ryback could be up there with a Dave Bautista. He really could. I think if Ryback, and hey, maybe it's already happening, but I think if Ryback were to be taken under the wing of Triple H, Vince McMahon, and when I say under the wing, kind of like really work very closely with them. I think those 2 guys that I mentioned, I think they can really help Ryback really get to that next level where he needs to be in-ring wise. Now, Vince McMahon, he's no good technician. He ain't no Kurt Angle or anything like that, but you got to admit, Vince McMahon, he's a great freaking character. And I think that it's with that in mind that Vince can help out Ryback tremendously. Triple H, knowing how to tell a good story in the ring, I think that he could just do wonders. Look at what Triple H did when he paired up with Dave Bautista there. You know, I mean, Dave Bautista, man, that boy had came a long way right before he had rolled out. I mean, he left on a high note, too. And Ryback has all the ingredients of getting to that point of where a Dave Bautista was before he left WWE there. Great moment right there, though. But, you know, that Izod Center crowd, I wish the entire WWE universe could be like that whenever Raw puts on a good product on a weekly basis. Once again, I said it before, but I'll say it again. My hat's off to you guys in New Jersey there. You guys were just freaking awesome. And that's going to do it for that look into Raw. For anything that you might have missed, definitely highly encourage you to check out our Tuesday show with myself and Diamond K. It's back on the archive section now. You can also download it on iTunes, Stitcher Marketplaces. Just use the keywords, the RCWR show. Great in-depth talk right there. Of course, one of the main things, of course, that we got to talk about. Where was The Rock? Where's The Rock? We saw people that were just looking for something negative to say about The Rock Johnson. People wondering, you know, okay, did he take his ball? Did he leave WWE? He doesn't care about the WWE universe. The only thing that he cares about is Hollywood. He just cares about making the millions of dollars. And what did I tell you guys? I posted a video on YouTube, and I told you guys in like about under 10 minutes, I said, you know what? I'm sure that The Rock had some type of a legitimate reason why he had to leave Raw, why he ended up, you know, just skipping out on them. I'm sure something had went down. Maybe it could have been a family situation. Who knows? But there's always a reason behind what he's doing. You know, he's a top-notch professional. Everybody in Hollywood, they got nothing but good things to say about him. Those that he's worked with in the wrestling community, they have nothing but good things to say about him. So surely there's a little bit more to the story than what some people wanted to go with, because you just genuinely have some people who just don't like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. They just don't. And it turns out he injured himself big time at WrestleMania as he tore a muscle around his abdomen area, just tore it off completely off the bone. And he was supposed to be involved in a storyline with Brock Lesnar on Raw that would have culminated in Brock coming out F5ing the hell out of him to basically kick off their potential match at next year's WrestleMania in New Orleans. And Rock was the one that came up with this whole idea, apparently. So, bearing all that in mind, honestly, I respect the hell out of The Rock and he did, for the record, he did tell top executives in WWE that he was going to be flying out. He did not take WWE's corporate jet, none of that. He took his own flight home, went to go talk to his doctor, weighed his options. At one point, he was considering surgery, but he decided that he was going to do rehab instead because I'm sure, as you all know by now, in case you might not know, he has signed on for Paramount's Hercules movie, and director Brett Ratner, famous for doing the Rush Hour franchise, this is a big project. So a lot of money has been invested on The Rock. So he really cannot afford to take time off by having surgery and be sidelined even longer. Rehab is what he has to do. But, it's exactly what I told you guys. There's got to be a little bit more to the story, and I must admit, I was definitely displeased with what I had saw from some folks that just thought that Rock turned his back on the WWE and that he was bitter. He didn't like the fact that he had to put over John Cena and all this other crazy crap. Look, I said it once before, I'll say it once again, and I'm not going to go into a 10-minute rant on this. This is it in a nutshell. Rock doesn't need WWE. For you knuckleheads that always like to look for something negative to say about The Rock and his Hollywood negotiations, get it through your head. He does not need WWE. He is just doing damn fine on his own. Newsflash, in case you might have missed it, the guy has been practically in the movie industry for, at least almost 15 years. So he really, and he's been doing a damn good job at it, at that. Let me make sure I stress that. He does not need the WWE. He's coming back to the WWE because he knows that the fans, those WWE fans, is what got him to where he is today. And in a small part, without them, he wouldn't be where he is today. He also still has that love, that passion, that desire to want to perform in the ring. He still has that love for wrestling entertainment. And that's why we've been seeing him for these past 2+ years working with the WWE. That's why we're 9 times out of 10 going to see him again at next year's WrestleMania. We aren't done with The Rock. I know some people put the question out there, including ourselves, should The Rock retire, considering these injuries? And, honestly, as much as, I would love to see The Rock continue to perform, he's getting up there in age. I mean, he looks damn good for a 40-year-old going on 41. He looks damn good. But, if it's going to come to a point right now where he's going to keep getting these type of injuries, I don't know, maybe after WrestleMania 30, maybe that kind of needs to be it. There's a lot at stake with these movie projects, and honestly, that's a huge commitment, and we should point out that The Rock, he's never had these type of problems before. But, hey, first time for everything. But I would love to see him just kind of take a step back after WrestleMania. I think he's done more than enough. But, hey, if he's able to continue going for a couple of more years, hey, more power to the man. I just want him to be healthy. And speaking of healthy, how about all the damn injuries at WrestleMania? Rock got injured. Brock Lesnar, he actually suffered a legitimate concussion as he was out cold for several seconds during his match with Triple H. There was at No Holds Barred. Who else got injured at WrestleMania? CM Punk, he took a nasty-ass bump in his match against Undertaker there. That damn table did not collapse when it was supposed to. you just think about the amount of injuries that had came about at this year's WrestleMania. Some people would want to dissect this, and they want to say, were these guys being a little bit too careless? And, some people, they may want to try to make a 15-minute argument out of it and try to look at it on all cylinders. Let's look at the facts right here. In a nutshell, CM Punk, who's already been banged up for 40-plus days or something like that he was the WWE champion. Yeah, no doubt he's going to be banged up working that damn hard. No doubt he's going to need to take some respected time off. And the fact that he got even more severely injured, as we're learning that he banged his knees up pretty bad in that spot against Taker, as luckily, according to MRI, X-rays, nothing's fractured or anything like that. He's just really, really sore. He's in dire need of some well-deserved vacation time. So that takes care of CM Punk. But you have him performing at the level that he did at Mania. You go to Triple H. To our knowledge, hasn't really been active at live house shows. God, does maybe 2 matches in a year or something like that. He gets injured. Then you go to Brock Lesnar. That's another guy. Basically 2 matches out of a whole calendar year. You just think about all that. Then you think about The Rock. God, what was this now? Rock, let me see, at least a year, because the last time we saw him wrestle was at last year's WrestleMania. So, a whole year, not wrestling, not doing any house shows. I know Diamond K, he said his piece on this, but I still believe that, it doesn't matter physically how good you look. What matters is if you're going in that ring and you're performing with different opponents, because, there's body shape ready and then there's in-ring ready. And unless you're in-ring ready, and then let me just make sure I broaden that line even more. I want to make sure we don't have anybody confused. When I say in-ring ready, I don't mean, okay, great, you can do your arm bar, you can do your hip toss, you can do the headlock, you can do the leg drop. I'm not talking about maneuvers, okay? I'm talking about having that in-ring cardio that's needed, having that thick skin that's needed to be able to physically hold your own in one match and then less than 24 hours later go out and have another match. I'm talking about that type of in-ring cardio, okay, that type of skill. And for guys like Rock, for guys like CM Punk, for guys like Triple H, for guys like Brock Lesnar, now with all due respect, we can kind of eliminate CM Punk. He's been at it too hard. Let's squeeze him out of there. But those other guys that I mentioned, they haven't really been that active on the roster doing any type of in-ring competition. Yeah, man, injury is going to freaking happen, especially when you're up there in age. So my whole thing is, hopefully going forward, these old guys that keep coming back, they're a little bit more smarter. If you can't wrestle smarter since you're up there in age, at least kind of make up for it by having more matches. I think that way it would kind of have them be a little bit more tuned up. And quite honestly, it doesn't even have to play out on WWE Raw, SmackDown. It doesn't have to play out on the main programming. Let it be at random live house shows. That's my mentality. You don't even have to announce it. Just let it be a special attraction for those that end up going to the event. Nice little special treat for them. That makes it that much more special because they'll be able to kick back and say, oh, I saw blah, blah, blah perform. That way they can get the kinks out, all that good stuff. That way when it's time for them to perform at whatever respective pay-per-view, they'll already be at that main event caliber level of wrestling, and the odds of an injury would at least dramatically be decreased. That's just food for thought right there. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a very brief commercial break, but then when we come right back, I want to go on ahead and I want to talk about what you guys might have missed from Main Event as seen on the ION channel, where the Shield just continues to let the good times roll. We'll share with you the details on that. We'll also talk about key points from Impact Wrestling this week, and we'll also cover what you might have missed on SmackDown before we dive into the latest wrestling headlines and beyond. You know how we do it over here on our weekend edition of the RCWR show. So kick on back, relax. Hope you've been enjoying the show so far. We'll be coming right back, folks. Do hang tight.
For news you can use, like us on Facebook during this commercial break at Infinity One Productions.
Hey, just a quick heads up. Did you know that RCWR show T-shirts are now available? Yeah, man. You need to go on over to our website right now at infinityOneProductions.com. Purchase yourself a T-shirt. All sizes available. We got you covered right on up to 2XL. If you need something a little bit bigger, then definitely hit us up with an email and let us know. We'll be more than happy to do a special order for you. But, yeah, we got nothing but love for you, baby, with those T-shirts. Represent. If you've been a fan of the show, hey, long time, or you're a new fan of the show, but you like what's going down and you want to represent, hey, go buy yourself a T-shirt. Represent us. We love it. And shipping is free. Yeah, it is on us. And speaking of T-shirts, because one of our boys, we got to show him some love. I believe it was Trey. He said, we know he was he was just fucking around with us. But he said, hey, what's going on with the T-shirt? I'm probably going to end up mailing everything out. I wanted to mail stuff out this weekend, but things just got too crazy with the website and work schedule and all. So today we're just doing the show, and then I've got to work on the website for the rest of the weekend. What's probably going to end up happening is I will end up shipping everything out probably next weekend, 9 times out of 10, and probably get the jump start maybe Friday to start shipping everything out. So congrats once again to all our winners. In case you guys had missed it, we gave away some kick-ass prizes on our WrestleMania post-show. One lucky winner, he is going to be getting a copy for his respective platform of WWE 14, and that's going to be the limited edition. You know, usually they like to do some type of a limited edition, collector's edition, or some crap like that. Well, we're going to show him some love and hook him up with the ultimate compilation that's out there of it. And another winner had got a Bret Hart DVD. Somebody had one, a Mankind DVD. I know we got a couple of RCWR shirts out there, and we did a lot of cool stuff. And I keep getting emails, when are you going to do another contest? It's like, well, something of that caliber, we're probably not going to do it again until maybe next year. Because, we put our money together over here. Everybody that's involved with the show and the website and just, having everything just come together all nicely and smoothly. And, the way that everything is running nowadays with the show and the website, it's pretty much a family-oriented business, so to speak, with close friends. So, I draw up the blueprint, and I bring in Tammy, I bring in my girlfriend, and Tammy brings in her boyfriend Scott, and I bring in my sister, my brother. I bring everybody in, and we sit down, and I say, okay, look, this is what I want to do. What's the budget? How much damage we talking? And that's pretty much how we operate. But it's probably going to be a good while before we do another contest like that. If we were to do one more, I don't know. I could probably entertain something maybe around SummerSlam, since I know other than WrestleMania, SummerSlam is usually a big freaking deal. I might be willing to do something for SummerSlam. It just depends. If it kind of feels like it's a strong ass SummerSlam, I might be willing to do something. If not, then I don't know. Maybe something around Royal Rumble or something like that. I don't know. But food for thought right there. All right, so let's kick it off with what we are going to be talking about next, we were just got done talking about Raw there and everything. Let's move along and let's talk about what had went down on Main Event as seen on the Ion channel. And, man, the Shield, man, woo-wee. Monday night, they were eyeballing The Undertaker, but they got derailed by Kane and Daniel Bryan. This week, Main Event, let us introduce the Shield. As we saw Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns make their Main Event debut, and they did it in fashion. Great six-man tag match as they defeated the team of Sweet Tea, Brodus Clay, Kofi Kingston. I was wondering what was going on with Naomi and Cameron when it came back from commercial break. I'm like, hey, where's the juicy booties? What's going on here? But turns out they had told them to leave the ring for their own safety because there was no telling what the Shield was going to do. And these guys, man, the Shield, I am just loving these guys. They just continue to be on a roll. And I just love the fact that WWE, they realize that they got something that's just really freaking awesome right here. And they're just taking their time. They're letting this trio just play it all out. And I'm telling you guys, they are going to surpass the length. I think they already have. I got to do some research this weekend. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe they've already surpassed the length of time that we got to see Nexus in action. And, no doubt that the way things are looking right now, spoiler alert, Shield is going to be having a match at Extreme Rules against a certain tag team. That's your spoiler alert right there. I'll tell you a little bit more when we get ready to talk about SmackDown. But we also saw Big E Langston make his Main Event debut. I didn't particularly care for this match. Nothing against Big E Langston, who is just a freaking beast. I love him. He defeated Zack Ryder, squash match. I mean, this was pretty much over in it felt like maybe 3 minutes. Jack Swagger, that was actually a very interesting segment, and Swagger didn't even utter a word. It was all on Zeb Coulter, who was talking to one Yoshitatsu, asking him where is he from, how come he eats with chopsticks, why doesn't he use a fork, he could pick up more food, did he have some warm sake on his way to work? I mean, damn. This guy, man, I love this Zeb Coulter character, man. He reminds me of a amped up Archie Bunker from All in the Family. I think Archie Bunker would take a look at a guy like Zeb Coulter, and I think if you were to have Archie Bunker and Zeb Coulter exchange words, I think Archie Bunker would say, buddy, you are a freaking racist. I think even Archie Bunker would go as far as to say, man, get away from me. You're just a little bit too extreme with your views. You got to love that Zeb Coulter, who just continues to work up the reactions of the crowd. And it's funny because we see Jack Swagger, he loses back-to-back to Alberto Del Rio. We see him defeat Yoshitatsu on Main Event, but that's not really anything significant. It looks like Jack Swagger's kind of going kind of low there on the low-mid card there, but we did see a little bit of a silver lining, so to speak, as we did see the duo cross on over to the blue brand known as SmackDown. But Zeb Coulter, man, WWE, they got something golden with this guy, and I think that until Swagger can get his legal problems resolved, I think that it would be best if they just went on ahead and maybe put Zeb Coulter with somebody else. And I know I put this idea out there earlier in the week, but I still feel that maybe he should be doing something with Big Show. I think that would be pretty phenomenal right there. I don't know, man, but good main event that we saw this past week, and it's funny because there's actually been a couple of main events that I've missed, and I've ended up having to watch it on the DVR, and for the most part of what I'm able to see, I think I probably maybe have within the past 4 weeks, I think I've probably maybe fast forward maybe 2 episodes of main event because it kind of seemed not boring, but it just, okay, I know how this match is going to play out. What's next? But this main event this week, I definitely was into this from beginning to end. I was quite pleased with it. All right, let's talk about Impact Wrestling. Full Metal Mayhem. Bully Ray, Jeff Hardy, TNA World Heavyweight Championship in Corpus Christi, Texas. Not quite, doesn't quite live up to the Full Metal Mayhem matches that I remember in previous years from TNA, and there's only been about 7 of them. But, it was a damn good match, to say the least, despite the fact that we only saw about maybe 4 matches on the card. Was I the only one that wanted more matches? I can't help but kind of take a pause and just put that question out there. I mean, I know how they're operating. I mean, they give us 3, 4 main matches, a lot of storyline, and then they try to give us more matches on the next episode because it's pre-taped. So I get their mentality, and I'm still kind of getting used to it, but sometimes I just wish that with the live episodes we got more matches. As despite all that, though, the Full Metal Mayhem match, it was good as we saw Bully Ray do some shenanigans there with the help of one Taz. For those of you, including us, we always kept putting the question out there, when is Taz going to actually contribute to the Aces and Eights? When is he going to do something to actually kind of help out the team or maybe the World Heavyweight Champion? And though it might have been really, really small, hey, Taz did do his part this past Thursday. He saw that the World Heavyweight Champion was in a bit of a bad spot, as it looked like the TNA Championship was at stake. Did what anybody would do, did what any good friend would do, because that's what friends are for. You give your buddy a little mallet so you can take it in the ring and whap, knock somebody over the head with it. And that's exactly what Bully Ray did to Jeff Hardy, as Jeff Hardy went crashing through that table. Good spot, too, as now the aftermath of that, and Bully Ray still remaining your TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Looks like TNA is now doing a injury angle, trying to hype up Jeff Hardy and the injuries that he suffered in that match. I really wouldn't be too surprised if they end up having Jeff Hardy maybe be off TV for a week, maybe 2 weeks, just to kind of sell that injury and then maybe kind of give us a update about him in the 3rd week and hype up his return, the things of that nature. Don't be too surprised if they end up going that route. But as Bully Ray likes to say it best, when you ride with Aces and Eights, you never walk alone. That needs so much cleaning up. So wait, you ride with Aces and Eights, you never walk alone. That just sounds like a frickin' taxi cab slogan, doesn't it, when you really think about it? I don't know. For you guys that's listening, I'd like to see somebody just, I said this on Thursday, but I want to, if somebody actually does this, okay, here's the challenge. And if you do this, let me make it interesting. If you can do this, I will hook you up with a free RCWR show T-shirt. I want to see an image of an old lady walking down the street, and Bully Ray is helping her, and just put the caption there: when you ride with Aces and Eights, you never walk alone. Or if somebody can make an image of an old lady like behind one of the motorcycles of riding with Aces and Eights, and you got Bully Ray in there. Give me some type of an image like that. If you can hook that up, man, that would just be freaking phenomenal because that slogan, every time I hear it, it just always has me cracking up big time. But other key points that we had saw from Impact Wrestling, we had got crowned a new, count them, 2 new TNA Tag Champions as we saw the team of Chavo and Hernandez defeat Bobby Roode, Austin Aries. They are once again the TNA Tag Champions. And for those of you that have been listening to Impact Showdown Radio, you know how critical Diamond K has been of Chavo and Hernandez. I've been a little bit vocal about them, but I got to put it all on Diamond K right now, so send your hate mail over to him. But it seemed like this past Thursday, Chavo, Hernandez, I don't know if they had some 5-hour energy shots, a little bit of tequila, some Smirnoff vodka. I don't know what these guys had, but they were freaking impressive on Monday. I really had enjoyed their match, and that was the opening match, too. They seemed like they were on a completely different level. I wasn't sure which tag team I was watching because I had to do a double take and go, wow, this is Chavo and Hernandez wrestling like this? How come these guys aren't like this every single week? That was my whole question. If they could bring that same intensity that they had this past Thursday into all of their matches, my God, man, I may actually end up rooting them more. I may end up rooting for them more on a regular basis. I was quite pleased with the tag match that I saw. And I don't know, maybe that's the reason why it comes off so dull and boring seeing the team of Chavo and Hernandez is because they only do so-so matches. They can keep bringing it like they did this past Thursday. The sky's the limit as far as them being the tag team champions go. So hats off to those guys because they had a pretty damn good match this past Thursday night. AJ Styles, what's going on, brother? Once again, AJ Styles put in a little bit of a predicament. Is he with Team Hogan? Is he going to fight the good fight against Aces and Eights? Or is AJ Styles going to go over to Aces and Eights? Or better yet, maybe AJ Styles should go with D&K, Daniels and Kazarian. That was the position that he was in this past Thursday night as Hulk Hogan. He wanted to know AJ Styles' answer. He wanted to know if he was going to fight the good fight. But before we could even hear AJ put that thought out there, once again, I don't know if you guys have been noticing this too. It seems like every time AJ Styles gets ready to talk, James Storm interrupts. And it just kind of has me say to myself, by chance, is James Storm the bad guy here? Because maybe we're kind of looking at everything a little wrong here. Some people, they would like to think that it's going to be clear-cut that AJ Styles is going to be the one to join Aces and Eights. I beg to differ. I don't think that that's even going to be the case. Notice how many times James Storm has been interrupting AJ Styles, always taking up his respected time, never giving him a chance to talk, almost as if the spotlight needs to be on the Cowboy. Yes, the Cowboy's coming out and he's saying, he just wants a fight and he's a little upset over the fact that AJ didn't help him a couple of weeks back, yada, 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 yada. But there's another angle that this could possibly go, and I don't know if you guys have really been kind of opening yourself to it, but we could be seeing a heel James Storm. Even if he doesn't end up going over to Aces and Eights, we could still be kind of seeing the seeds planted of a heel Storm, and I think the way they've been kind of putting it out there so far, they've been on a good start. But once again, Storm interrupts AJ, as always, and wants a fight. Daniels and Kazarian, they come out. They're trying to be all devil's advocates, but again, they have their own little agenda as they want for AJ to consider his options. With Hogan basically, he just wants a body. he wants AJ as part of the stable because he's losing the war against Aces and Eights. You go over to Aces and Eights, yeah. For them to have AJ, huge acquisition. Who better than the face of TNA to be in one of the biggest stables in TNA wrestling? Okay? But then there's Daniels and Kazarian. I know some of you guys are saying, huh? Yeah, Daniels and Kazarian. They actually put that out there that maybe AJ should join them. Yeah, after the whole Claire Lynch and all that other good stuff happened, yeah, okay. But in either case, AJ, once again, silent, didn't give an answer. Hogan had enough of this crap. So it looks like next week we're going to be seeing Hulk Hogan, as he made the match official. AJ Styles will be taking on the Cowboy James Storm. And I know that they've already taped that respected episode. We don't believe in spoilers for you guys. We're not going to be posting results days before the event. If you've come known to check out our website on Thursdays whenever Impact Wrestling has been pre-taped, we usually go ahead and we release the results maybe like an hour before, but we still provide live coverage of the show as it's in progress, giving you guys actual results as it's playing out on TV. So it's with that. You're not getting any spoilers from me. If you want to hear what happened on that respected episode, hey, I encourage you to go visit your neighborhood wrestling website, whatever the hell you call it, and get your jollies off that way, find out what happened on that episode. But overall, you know, pretty from a production standpoint, definitely a good episode of Impact Wrestling. You know, we were supposed to do Impact Showdown Radio this past Thursday, and it was supposed to be in-depth. Myself, co-host Diamond K, we got another apology that we want to put out there to you guys. It's a first time, and it happens. But the show was supposed to come on at 10 this past Thursday, and unfortunately, I'm getting up there in age. The show was, like, slotted to come on at 11 p.m. I forgot to tweak the time. So rather than have Diamond just wait, I just went on ahead and I gave him the night off, and I just did like a 30-plus minute show. So if there's anything that I might have missed as I was covering Impact, I highly encourage you, just go backtrack to that. Hopefully I put everything in that one. And Diamond will be back, you know, next Tuesday. But, yeah, I'm really sorry because I know we had some guys, they just kept checking periodically. I know there was a couple of tweets asking where's the show. And, you know, we're sorry. Hey, shit like that, it happens from time to time. I don't know what you guys are going to do when we get ready to go on vacation because me and Diamond, we are long overdue, and we got a solid week of vacation time. We're trying to figure out when we're going to do it, but I don't know what you guys are going to do when we go on vacation. Hopefully you guys will be all right, but in either case, hey, whatever. All right, we're going to take another commercial break. You know how we do it over here on the weekend edition of the RCWR show. We don't open up the phone lines. Let me put that out there right now because I see a couple of people that are trying to call into the show. Now, if there's a problem with the servers or whatever, we have the chat room that's open. You can kind of post a message in there, or if you have Twitter, you can interact with us that way or put a message up on Facebook. But on our weekend editions, we usually don't open up the phone lines. All right, we're going to take a brief commercial break. We're going to come right back. It's my favorite part of the weekend edition. We're going to talk about what all had went down from SmackDown, where the Shield, baby, they just kept letting the good times roll. We'll give you the 411 on that. And we also will talk about the latest in wrestling headlines. Got some Eextreme Rising news I want to share with you guys. We'll also take a look at the current card for the next Shine 9 pay-per-view and more. Hope you've been enjoying the show so far, folks. We'll be coming right back. Do hang tight.
You're listening to the RCWR show with your host, Lee Sanders.
Hey. All right, so I know we had picked up a couple of people on our Facebook page. I got nothing but love for you guys. We got some new likes on our Facebook page. We had picked up some new Twitter followers for both show handles. And true story, I kick back, and I don't say this enough, but maybe I should start because apparently the comments I've been getting, a lot of people, they've been appreciating what I've been saying. But true story, I'm a fan of daytime soaps. And I kick back from time to time, and I'll usually watch a little marathon with my girlfriend and everything. And, nice way to kind of catch up with one another. And it's always nice to kind of like leave the wrestling alone because my mind can only take so much of wrestling. So it's kind of nice to just kick back and just do some other stuff. Just one of many hobbies I have. I like to check out some daytime soaps. And one of the ones I've been checking out mainly is General Hospital. And they've been going into this weird, crazy stuff. ABC, Disney, they've been having this battle with Prospect Park, and basically, long story short, actors that had portrayed One Life to Live characters will no longer be able to on General Hospital, as it it was supposed to be a mutual agreement that the characters were supposed to be on loan until Prospect Park could figure out what to do as far as rebooting One Life to Live and All My Children, and they've been successful as now it's on. We're like about a week and a half away. April 29th, we're going to see the reboot of both shows, and they will be internet available only. You'll be able to catch them on Hulu. They'll be made available on other respected portable devices. I don't think it's available for iDevices yet. I could be wrong. I need to look into that a little bit more. I'm getting sidetracked here. But the point is I put an article out expressing my frustration, and it met a lot of freaking comments. And I had some people that actually sent me a personal email, and they said, you do a good job, with this. I know you stay just into the wrestling and all, but it'd be really nice if you could kind of maybe dip into this a little bit more. It's a dying breed now, and we kind of need people like you to kind of maybe lead that flagship a little bit and kind of get people talking about it again. And I said, let me think about this. And then I put another article out to follow up on that conversation, and that's been meeting respected comments, and it's at a point right now where we're going to be tweaking our website a little bit, as we know that there are some daytime soap fans that's out there. And I know there's probably some that have taken the time out to check out our show, and we definitely thank you guys for that. But, we are definitely we're still trying to figure out how we're going to tweak it in a way where, everybody will be happy. I don't want to alienate wrestling fans, but at the same time, I want to recognize the fact that we do have a new audience, so we're trying to cater to both. So next couple of weeks, I'm just giving you guys a heads up right now. You're seeing a slow injection of it now on the website, but in the coming weeks, we will be kind of recapping certain things that had happened on some particular daytime soaps, and it's even at a point right now where we're probably going to try to actually reach out to respected actors and actresses of some of your favorite daytime soaps for exclusive interviews. So just another thing that's coming for the Infinity One Productions over here. I told you guys, 2013 is all about evolving and improving the product. And it's with that great love and dedication that we're definitely trying to make it be our business to, test the limits and see what, we can definitely do. So on that note, I hope you appreciate the news. And if not, hey, maybe you have a girlfriend, maybe you have a family member that, likes daytime soaps or whatever, share with them the news and, let them know, come represent in full force. Speaking of soaps and storylines and all that other good stuff, let's talk about SmackDown from this past Friday night. Once again, The Shield letting the good times roll, as this time around they had made a little bit of a brief cameo right after Kane and Daniel Bryan had picked up a win over the Primetime Players. And I should point out here that the Shield, at this point, it looks like they got their eyes set on the tag team champions. Now, remember, Kane and Daniel Bryan, they came to the aid of Undertaker on Raw this past Monday. Keeping track so far? Okay. We see them have a dominant performance on Main Event. Now we go over to SmackDown. They're via Titantron getting in the face of Kane and Daniel Bryan. This would lead to, later in the night, we see Triple H cutting a promo. Was I the only one that thought he looked ridiculous with his shades? And what's going on with the beard? It looks like he's trying to grow a Matt Morgan beard there. I don't think it's going to play out too well. But I was not feeling the shades. I was so happy that he finally took them off. I'm thinking to myself, you are in the indoor arena. The lights can't be that freaking bright, man. Come on. But anyway, we saw 3MB. They came out. Looked like they was getting ready to throw it down. Notice right here when Heath Slater tells Triple H to shut up. I'm thinking to myself, now wait a minute. You do realize, Heath, that Triple H is still your boss, or am I the only one that forgot that he is the Vice President of Talent and Live Relations? What's going on right here, dude? In either case, 3MB looked like they were about to give Triple H a beatdown when all of a sudden Shields, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, they came on out and they actually beat it up, the 3MB members. Now it was down to Triple H, and what looked as if Triple H was going to get jumped, once again we saw Kane and Daniel Bryan come out and even up the odds. Shield members, they backed down. They did not want any of that. And the way that this is looking right now, if you keep in track, Kane, Daniel Bryan, Undertaker, okay? Kane, Daniel Bryan, Triple H. Now, some would kind of look at that and say, what's going on here? Are we maybe going to see one of these guys? I don't see that happening. Honestly, I don't. Let's just get that talk out the way right now. No, we're not going to see no Triple H with Kane and Daniel Bryan to take on the Shield. That's not going to happen. Could I see a Kane, Daniel Bryan, Undertaker taking on the Shield? That I could see happen. As you know, Raw's getting ready to go out to the O2 London Arena in a couple of weeks, and Undertaker is supposed to be at that event. Now, whether or not he's going to be performing in ring-wise, that's a different story, but if I were to bank on him having a match, I think that kind of makes a little bit of sense. But I think the end game of this is going to be the Shield members, two of them, taking on Kane and Daniel Bryan for those tag titles. And quite honestly, if I was doing this right, I would like to see Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose with the titles. I start to say Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns from the point of WWE booking, since they love his look, nice, pretty boy, big guy, big muscles. I was kind of looking at it from that standpoint and saying maybe they should kind of put the title in, but I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I kind of like him as more of a loner type of guy. He seems like one of those guys that might want to go for the United States title or something like that. That's just the kind of vibe he gives me. I don't really see him as a tag team champion. I just don't. So I'd be more sold on Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, but look for that matchup to go down at Extreme Rules. I think we're going to be in for a damn good treat. Many of you that have been vocal about Kane and Daniel Bryan being the tag champions, they've run their course, yada, yada, yada. I think you're going to get your wish. I think at Extreme Rules, Kane and Daniel Bryan will finally be put to their truest test, and they will come up short, as we will get crowned new tag champions in the Shield, bringing justice to all. Dolph Ziggler came out. He had a few words to say, but his daggone time kept getting interrupted. First, it was interrupted by, who was it? Alberto Del Rio, who basically told him to enjoy the title while he has it. Once he's at 100%, he's going to be gunning for it again. We even saw Dolph Ziggler get interrupted by one Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter, and this was a very cool exchange of words right here, as Zeb Coulter feels that it was because of the work that Jack Swagger did to Alberto Del Rio did Ziggler be able to cash in on the opportunity. See, I'm a little bit distracted over here, don't mind me. That he was able to get the opportunity to win that World Heavyweight title. And basically, long story short, Zeb Coulter, he wants for Ziggler to do the right thing and give Swagger a shot at that belt. Well, Ziggler wasn't even feeling this. He didn't even give him a chance, and for just a brief moment, it looked as if Swagger, Ziggler were about to get it on, but Big E Langston kind of stood in the way between the two, so it kind of looked a little two-on-one-sided there. We saw Swagger back down, but it's nice that they're still kind of keeping Swagger in the title hunt picture, so to speak, at least until they can figure out what's going on with his legal troubles. But, you know, I think Swagger is going to be okay, too. I really think at this point, with his court case coming up, I think he's probably just going to get a slap on the wrist, honestly. So don't be too surprised if WWE might end up shooting him right back up to where he was before the whole weed DUI crap had went down, because it really did seem like this guy was on a roll. Other action that we had saw on SmackDown, we saw Big Show walk out of a match that he was in, as it was a handicap match. He had to take on Sheamus and Randy Orton, and Big Show settled for a countout. Tough defeat right there, man. Didn't want no part of that. Chris Jericho had took on Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, Jericho interrupted Dolph Ziggler too, mind you. Wanted him to shut the hell up. That was pretty much our main event match of the night. Always love it when we see Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler go at it head to head. Nowhere near as close as to what we might have seen from Jericho and Michaels or Dolph Ziggler and Shawn Michaels, but you know, hey, it's the next best thing. Fandango, you knew he was going to play a part in this match, and boy, did he still peeved off over what Jericho had did to him this past Monday night on Raw, giving him that beatdown and all. Fandango caused a little bit of a distraction to Jericho, made him lose the match against Ziggler. Jericho afterwards, numbers game was just too much, as Big E, Langston, Ziggler, they all got in their licks on him. Fandango, he got in his little dancing and his leg drops, all that. And it looks like the way things are looking right now, Chris Jericho is getting ready to go on tour with his band Fozzy. And he is slated to return to Raw. I believe he's scheduled for this week. I think they got him up until the week of the 20th, and then afterwards he's going to be on tour, but he'll be back in May. So I like the way that things are looking right now between Chris Jericho and WWE. I think they have finally reached an understanding where Jericho, he can go do his thing with his other projects, whether it be his band or a new TV show, and he can come on back to the WWE. I think they've finally made it possible. So I think now the only question is, what more interesting angles can we see Chris Jericho be involved in? And my hat's off to him. I mean, he's in the best shape of his career right now. I mean, he looks freaking good. He doesn't look tired like the last time around. I'm all for it. It's just something about this run. It's better than what we had saw last time. Last time it just really felt like a complete. But this go around, it just seems like he's been doing very well, and I'm glad that they got Jericho, because they need that in-ring veteran. They need an in-ring general right now. They need somebody there, at least on a part-time basis. So you can't really rely on Triple H. You can't really rely on Undertaker. I mean, right now you look at the roster, it's pretty much, and I know he's only got 5 moves, but it's pretty much down to Cena, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler. My God, man, I would even be as so bold as to go with Antonio Cesaro, who actually did have a match. Don't ask me who it was against, because that's how long he had been off of TV. But I remember he was in a match on SmackDown. He was victorious, too. You know, this is the thing I'm talking about here. When you have somebody off TV for a long period of time, then you just throw them into the mix. You know, you're hurting their value. You're hurting that connection with the fans. And it kind of makes things a little bit hard as far as, you know, getting the gears back in motion again. Let's just hope that Antonio Cesaro is, like, back, and they're going to start utilizing the hell out of this guy, because I said it on our post show, but this guy is truly, truly one of the best freaking things that WWE has going for them right now, and they really, really need to start treating him with some proper respect, because I'm telling you, man, I think it's going to be a completely different story. If in the next 6-7 months this guy hasn't even had a WWE or a world title shot match, doesn't have to become champion, just if he hasn't had a shot at the bigger belts by then, I think a lot of fans are going to be kind of wondering what's going on with Cesaro, what's it going to take for WWE to pull that trigger and make him go to that next level. But, you know, SmackDown, damn good episode this week. I loved it. Only thing I had a problem with on SmackDown, I could have done without the whole Big Show thing. That was just, I don't know, man. They need to just go on ahead and they need to just pull the trigger already on whatever is going on with this. And I truly believe, I said it once before, I'll say it again, I got to look at Randy Orton. I'm eyeballing you, brother. I really feel that Randy Orton is going to reveal himself to be a member of the Shield. Just look at the damn shirt. It speaks for itself. He's got the Shield emblem. He's got the whole strike first. It's right up the Shield's alley. That is their MO to a T. So, I don't know. But anyway, and then for the record, because as far as if you guys are curious who Antonio Cesaro did take on, if I'm not mistaken, it was either R-Truth or Kofi Kingston. I'm kind of leaning more towards Kofi Kingston, but don't quote me on that. My mind is a little fuzzy today. But that's the talk of SmackDown and what all you had missed there. All right, let's go ahead and let's jump into a couple of headlines as we start switching things up here. I don't know if you guys had took a glance over at the WWE website, but they got a pretty interesting article up where they show several designs of the new WWE Championship. And I think you guys would be quite pleased with some of the designs that they put up. I know there's actually two designs that I personally had liked where I'm saying to myself, damn, well, why didn't they go with that? I highly encourage you to go check it out. And what I'll do for you guys, for those of you in the chat room and for those of you that might be checking out the show on your browser, we got a link that's getting ready to go into the chat room right now. You can click on that, and that'll take you to it. I thought the designs were pretty freaking cool there. There's one where they actually kind of brought back the winged eagle, if you will. It's a nice amped-up version. I thought it was pretty badass. I personally would have went with that design, but it's nice to see that they worked on several designs before going with the big old W, and I know that kind of diffuses some myths that some people just wondered if WWE even really had a thought process in designing the title. The pictures that you see, it clearly shows that, yes, in fact, there was a clear thought process, and some good stuff right there. All right, and in other wrestling news I want to share with you guys, it looks as though, and get ready for this, folks, it looks as though Eric Bischoff, he had recently did an interview, and he had commented on how close Paul Heyman had came to signing with the organization. Now, this is what he had to say. This is the direct quote right here. I believe that Dixie and Paul had some conversations. I believe that Paul may have had some conversations at the network level, but it was never serious on anybody's part. So kind of take that for what it's worth. Honestly, I think TNA would be a completely different product right now if it was Paul Heyman in charge. I know some people, they would point out an earlier interview that Paul Heyman had gave a couple of years back where he went on record and said he would fire all the old guys in TNA and he would just pretty much start from scratch and work with a young roster. And it was a damn good read. I highly encourage you. Google is your best friend. Go backtrack, check out that article. But for those of you that just continue to wonder, could we possibly see a Paul Heyman in TNA? Honestly, I think Paul Heyman's best work is happening right now as he's in the WWE. I mean, the guy is getting opportunities to cut some really freaking golden promos. He just seems like he's having fun. He seems like he's more loose this time around. I don't know if you guys are really picking that up on TV, but it seems like this time around, him and the McMahons, even the Hemsley, it just seems like there's a respect level now. It seems like now there's just that, let's just bury the hatchet, let's just move forward. In the end, we're all family, we all just want the best, let's work together. That's kind of the whole vibe I'm getting now. I'm not really picking up the whole, okay, well, look, you doing this because we're paying you, you're under our thumb. I'm not really getting that whole vibe. Could we eventually maybe see Paul Heyman get some type of a main role in WWE, maybe kind of have a part in NXT development or something like that? I wouldn't be too surprised if he ends up getting a role like that. I think the next go-around, I think, all sides, even Stephanie and all that, I think everything would be just fine for him. But, again, only time will tell, but I'm just going off of what I'm kind of seeing, what I've been kind of hearing, and seems pretty loose this time around. I was just talking about Stephanie McMahon. She's been catching a lot of heat, and it's very rare Stephanie gets heat. I mean, think about it. She really hasn't had anything to do with the WWE programming as far as Raw and SmackDown and all that goes. But, yeah, she's been making headlines outside as, she's catching flack for revealing that The Rock is going to be on the front cover of the new WWE 14 game that is going to be distributed by 2K Sports. As 2K Sports, they had this whole big marketing campaign that they were going to be embarking on, and the big reveal was supposed to be The Rock revealing it on a future episode of Raw. At least that was the rough drafts for it. But Stephanie had spilled the beans WrestleMania weekend, and a lot of people are kind of scratching their heads wondering why the fuck did she do that. And honestly, I know some people, they may be a little bit upset by that move, but I think the timing was perfect because, think about it, 2K Sports, they just acquired WWE, okay? They still are probably trying to get their team together. Hey, some people, they may have loved the good team over at Ukes, THQ. You guys may have loved them, but honestly, this is a blessing in disguise because now we're finally going to get to see a new freaking engine. We're going to get to see some new graphics. I think that with WWE 14, I think these guys, they are going to probably recycle about maybe 75% of the work that THQ did. But then I think when WWE 15 rolls around, once they've had a little bit more time to sit down and really work on it, I think we're going to see a completely different game that's really, really just going to take wrestling gaming to another level. That's just honestly the vibe that I'm going with. Bank on it, okay? Bank on WWE 15. But I'm not upset at the way that she had brought the news. I think it's nothing more than buzzworthy news. It's getting folks talking, and honestly, a lot of people, it's still on their minds. Well, damn, WWE, they got acquired by WWE Games. You know, they got acquired by 2K. Well, you know, what the hell? So, you know, you kind of gotta make it look as though what's happening with 2K and WWE is off to a good start. And so that's how I look at Stephanie putting it out there, what's going on. So for you guys that's upset, just get over it. I mean, seriously, just get over it. As long as she didn't reveal game content and all that other stuff, I mean, come on, you know, who cares? Really, who cares? All right, Impact Wrestling, I got your ratings for this past Thursday night. Looks like the numbers are down this week, as Thursday's episode had garnered a 0.93 rating and averaged 1.17 million viewers. Slightly down from the past couple of weeks, as last week's taped episode, get this, scored a 1.11 rating and averaged 1.425 million viewers. Now, it should be pointed out that Thursday's show drew the lowest rating since the Thanksgiving episode. Say what? Yeah. That's crazy right there when you hear that. All right, and in other wrestling news, we got to send a big shout-out to Christian York, Virginia's own, not too far from our neck of the woods. He is 36 years old today. Happy birthday to Christian York. Hopefully he's kicking back, and he is having a damn good weekend. I love it when a birthday lands on the weekend. Don't you? Especially if you don't have to work. You just get to kick on back, relax with your family. You get to get your drink on, all that good stuff. All right. And in other wrestling news, Adam Pearce, he had spoke out about his TNA gut check snub. This is what he said on his Twitter page the other night. Quote right here, "I am embarrassed and angry, shell-shocked and in total disbelief. Thank you to everyone that had their eyes open and believed. Rest assured, it is me that will decide when my door is closed." Adam Pearce. Could you feel the animosity there when he had got the axe this past Thursday? I mean, he looked at those judges kind of like, you couldn't email me this? That's exactly how he was looking. He's like, you couldn't email me this? You know, you mean to tell me I could have been at so-and-so? I had to be here for this shit? I mean, that's just the look that he had on his face this past Thursday. It was freaking ridiculous. All right. It's been pretty much a quiet week in wrestling-related news, but you know how we do it over here on the RCWR show. We love to cover what's going on in independent wrestling promotions, and if you've been listening to our show long enough, you know that we have this new commitment since late last year of following Shine Wrestling. And I'm actually in talks with the hostess, Daphne, and try to see if maybe we could set something up, or maybe we can get her onto the show, or maybe some of the girls of Shine Wrestling onto the show. And that's a continued development. I'll keep you guys posted on that. But in either case, it's with that love and dedication for the Shine Wrestling promotion that we let you know they're going to be doing another pay-per-view on April the 19th. That's Friday, April 19th at 9 p.m. You'll be able to catch it on iPay-per-view as they return to the Emporium in Bar City, Florida. And so far, talents that has been signed for this event, we have the Shimmer champion, Ciara Knight, Amazing Kong, Madison Eagles, Angelina Love, Jazz. Jazz has been missing from at least 3 Shine Eye pay-per-view events now. She has been taking care of some personal stuff there. Hopefully she's got it all squashed, and we'll see her. Hopefully this won't be another cancellation there. As I know last go-around, fans were actually really pumped up to see Jazz and learn that at the actual event that she wasn't there. They were a little bit upset with that. So hopefully this go-around she's going to be able to keep her commitment. Rain, Madison Martinez, one of our longtime Twitter buddies, the beautiful and the lovely Nikki Rocks, Sue Young, Santana, Iva Lees, Mia Yim, Courtney Rush, Brittany Savage, April Hunter. You know, she does some amazing stuff with her website. If you are into the whole S&M stuff, yeah, if you got a little freak in you, go check some of that stuff out. Some good shit. Allison Kay, Jessica Havoc, Jessica McKay, Evie. I mean, it's pretty freaking good, man. I mean, they got like, a lot of people coming for this event. And you know how we do it over here on the RCWR show. We are, of course, going to be offering a post-show immediately after Shine Wrestling has concluded. So you're more than welcome to join us on that special post-show. You can kick on back, and you can actually call in if you ended up seeing the event. Share your thoughts to the actual pay-per-view. We'll have the chat room open, all that good stuff. And mad shout-out, too, to the new followers that we had got for our shows and on our Facebook and Twitter. As you know, we love interacting with wrestling fans, especially wrestling fans of different promotions. And the Shine Wrestling community, definitely strong. And, you know, this is awesome. If you don't like women's wrestling, then you know what? You're missing out. If all you think women should be good for in the ring is just eye candy, then, you know, that's your loss. But if you want to see some beautiful babes that kick some serious ass, then you need to check this out. Great prices, too. You can just watch the actual stream. If you order before Friday, you'll be able to catch it for just $10. If you order the day of the pay-per-view, you'll have to pay $15. So bear that in mind. Come out your pockets, pay $10, represent, check this pay-per-view out. They actually have a chat room that's up on there, so I'll be chatting it up with folks. So if you see me, you're more than welcome to say hello. In other wrestling news, you know, Eextreme Rising. We haven't talked about them in a good while, and it's for good reason. It just seems like every time they get a little bit of good momentum going, they kind of shit on it. Well, they issued this statement on Thursday, and I'm going to read it to you right now. It's a rather long one, but we need to read this. You know how we do it over here. We always try to look at everybody's side. And I hope that for times that we have talked about Eextreme Rising, I hope that we haven't been that critical. I know we had reviewed one of their pay-per-views, but and the pay-per-view it was bad, and they had to coming. You know, we can't hold back. And you know, I think that as true broadcast journalists, you have to keep it real. You have to look at it from all angles. You know, I don't really respect somebody for kissing a company's ass just to try to get talent to come onto the show when really you're insulting the consumers. That's just my take. Let's read this statement here. Let's see what you guys think about this. This is what Eextreme Rising had to say. This was on Facebook Thursday night. Quick Eextreme Rising update. There is a lot of work to be done. Since day one of announcing Eextreme Reunion back in 2012, we have received negative comments, but that did not stop us. April 20th, 2012, Eextreme Reunion was a good thing and a bad thing. We received more negative comments. Things went wrong, but we corrected them and moved on. Even when things were improving, the show after show, we received negative comments. And with the cancellation of the April WrestleMania weekend events, well, the floodgates opened up widely. For the last year, we have continually picked ourselves up and overcame many obstacles moving forward. Currently, these cancellations are our biggest challenges yet. It has not been easy going at all, but we do see the light at the end of the tunnel. People are pissed off, frustrated, disappointed. We feel your pain, as we are too. We did not plan for things to turn out the way they did. It sucks. However, things happen. Bad things happen. All we can do is learn from these mistakes, repair what we can do, pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and move forward. Things take time, and we are doing the best we can at this moment. It may not be fast enough for everyone, but we do care, and we will make things right. We would like to thank those who have posted or have sent us positive and encouraging messages during this time. They mean a lot. Thank you. Rest assured, if you are due a refund and made your purchase outside of 45-day period with PayPal, that should read outside of the 45-day period with PayPal. Don't mind me. I just have that automatic editor. I've been typing up stuff for so long. I just point that out. Please contact your credit card company. We hope to have all refunds done by the end of the month. Our email is automated currently as we are inundated with inquiries and complaints. We will answer every email sent. We wish it was an easy to fix things. Is that really what they said? We wish it was there we go. We wish it was as easy to fix things by pushing or clicking one button. It is not. Every person due a refund will receive their refund. Please be patient. We have done something special with Eextreme Reunion and Rising. A lot of naysayers said we would be one and done. Others thought it would last 2 or 3 shows. No one expected 5 events, averaging 1,000 fans per event, and crowning of a champion. They said it couldn't be done. We did it. We will do it. It will be in 2013. We believe and have faith in our abilities, accomplishments, and our goals. We are regrouping, reassessing, and planning. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to the future, even as bleak as it may seem today. Thank you for reading. And that is it in a nutshell. So, I know we got some people, they'll probably go, well, who the fuck cares about Eextreme Reunion? And then, we probably got some people that'll probably sit up and say, well, who gives a fuck about Shine Wrestling? We probably have people that like to sit up and they like to say, WWE, TNA, WWE, TNA, WWE, TNA. You start saying Dragon Gate, you start saying NXT, you start naming all these other indie promotions, you start saying Pro Wrestling Blitz, you start naming all this other shit, and that fan, they can't say anything. Because all they have known for the past 10, 15 years is WWE, TNA. Okay? Now just think about that for a second. What's wrong with that? My mentality has always been, if you consider yourself a wrestling fan, then you're going to try to watch what's going on in as many freaking promotions as possible. That is why I can be unbiased and say WrestleMania this past year sucked. That's the truth. You want to offer a different argument? I'll tell you what, we'll open the phone lines, let's see, Tuesday night. How about that? Join us Tuesday night. If you want to challenge me on that, you're more than welcome. Tell me why you thought WrestleMania was good. Bring a very valid argument. This is coming from somebody that sat up, watched the TNA One Night Extravaganza, watched Shimmer 53, watched the Ring of Honor Supercard 7. I watched all the bad boys leading up until WrestleMania that night. So I can kick back and honestly say, WrestleMania, it sucked. Okay? even a WWE fan, just for the sake of the argument, even a WWE fan, one that just isn't going to be riding the coattail every single night, even your realest WWE fan that only knows the product will have enough passion and truth in them to admit when WWE has dropped the ball on a particular show. So for you guys that like to continue to be in denial and all this other stuff, you got to ask yourself, are you really a wrestling fan? Because if you're really a wrestling fan, then you'll be able to look at things in a whole broad spectrum. Which brings me to this point. A company like Eextreme Reunion, I will give them credit where it is due. Yes, from time to time, they have done some great pay-per-views. I will give them that, okay? I have like 4 on my desktop right now. I love them, okay? There have been times where they have dropped the ball. Some people may say, why is this company even around? They're just an ECW ripoff, blah, 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 blah. They try to do a little bit more than just have it be all about the ECW originals. They are into bringing up-and-coming guys that's been getting a lot of buzz on the independent circuit, great addition of luchadors. I mean, they got the right talent that's there. The problem that they're having is they don't have, first off, enough financial backing partners. That's one of their main problems. Anytime you can't even raise $35,000 on Indigo so that you can try to maybe get a TV deal, that says large volumes to me. That tells me you still got a long ways to go. I think they wanted like $35,000 was what they were trying to raise, and I think the guys were only able to raise like about maybe 8,000, maybe even 10,000. Let me be nice. I'll say 10,000. If they got a little bit more than that, I'd be a little bit surprised. But I want to say bare minimum they got like about 10,000. They're understaffed. I feel their frustration. I know what it's like. I mean, when I first started building the website and all that, I mean, a lot of man hours. Hiring people. I had to work on a tight budget. And trying to get the help that I needed. And whether it was hiring somebody to put tweets out or hiring somebody to help me out with posting articles or web design. I mean, I know what it's like to be understaffed and, you're trying to work within your means. But, too many times we've seen Eextreme Reunion Rising take these hiccups. And, I mean, this past weekend, I mean, my God, I mean, what is supposed to be one sure way to bring in a new fan base, to bring in more audience, to bring in more revenue, and you're not able to capitalize on WrestleMania weekend, that just says to me that you didn't really sit down and actually crunch the numbers. It says to me that you're not supposed to go in saying to yourself, okay, well, yeah, we can definitely do this. Hypothetically speaking, okay, let's just put a figure out there. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I have my own wrestling promotion. Let's say I got about 5, 6, 8 wrestlers that I want to come along with me for WrestleMania weekend. We're going to try to talk about our product, and we're going to have autograph signings, meet and greet, photo op. We're going to have all that cool stuff. Okay? Now, I have to think about the wrestlers, how they're going to be paid, transportation, possibly travel. Each wrestler is different. Some may want hotel expenses. Some may want to be paid for gas. Maybe somebody rented a car. You got to kind of factor all those things. Okay? So you got to take all those numbers in, and then you kind of got to say to yourself, okay, well, all right, it's going to be this amount to cover this amount of talent that's going to be coming to the event. I need X amount of dollars. This will take care of them. Okay, now then, how much of a profit can be made if I do the autograph, if I do the photo op, yada, 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 yada. And it has to be done in a way where everybody can definitely make a profit from it. If you're not able to make a profit from it, then what's the point of doing it? And I think with Eextreme Reunion right here, the fuck-up that they had over WrestleMania weekend, they did not go with realistic numbers. That's what I'm able to gather, okay? Going forward, these guys, they need to be a little bit more smarter when it comes to business endeavors that they're embarking on, seriously, because they can put out these apologies all they want, but the fans, they aren't gonna forget that. You know what I'm saying? That's just my take on that. I could be wrong, okay, but that's just my take on it, and this is just coming from somebody that is a businessman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna bullshit you guys around. Do I have a day job? Yeah, and I do a damn good job doing it. And I learned so much from it. It actually helps me in what I'm doing with my little company on the side and what I'm doing with the show and the radio and all that. So, there's that part of me that's always thinking about business. And my best advice that I would give to Eextreme Reunion, because I'm not going to be like some people and wish somebody bad business. If you believe that you can do something, anything is possible if you set your mind to it. Eextreme Reunion, my best advice to you guys is to really just kick on back, really take your time in executing these deals that you got going on, even to the littlest things, as far as making sure that the event starts on time, doors are opened on time, there's good food and beverages for people to consume. All those little things. There's comfy chairs. We shouldn't have to hear about a fan that has paid $100 to take a picture with Sabu and has paid like $100-something for a front row seat, and he's put down an extra $50 to be able to walk away with a really cool Eextreme Rising chair that's going to have like the Sandman and Shane Douglas on it, only to find out that they didn't put in the order in time for those customized chairs, and instead the fan is going to walk away with an elementary school steel chair. Those vintage 1970 kind looking steel chairs that's autographed. Don't insult people like that, because when you do them like that, you make them think that all you care about is just the gimme, money, 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 money. That's just my take. I'm going to leave the topic alone now, but that's my advice to Eextreme Rising. Take your time, do it right, put a lot more thought process into it, and actually go out of your way. Don't be afraid to put money out there and hire people that are experts in marketing campaigns, social media campaigns, the works. That would be my advice, and that's off the no bull. All right, this is what I want to do. I want to take one last commercial break. We come right back. We're ending the show on a good note. We'll cover the latest in entertainment headlines. Not really too much that's been going on. I give you guys some quick programming notes, and I think we got about maybe about 15 more minutes of show, maybe 20. I don't know. We'll see how it is, but hope you've been enjoying the show so far. Of course, any episodes that you might have missed, Be Kind Rewind. Check it out. iTunes, Stitcher Marketplaces. Use the keywords RCWR Show. All right? Hey, did you know you can also stream our episodes on YouTube? Yeah, through your Xbox. Check that out. If you got an Xbox, PlayStation 3, download the YouTube app that's on there, free of course, and search our channel, the RCWR Show. We're always posting a lot of great content on there. I've been trying to make it be my business to post more webcam videos up on there and give my thoughts on latest headlines or whatever, so check it out. And we always love it when you hit that subscribe button. So if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure that you do. All right, one last commercial break, and then we'll jump right into the latest and entertainment headlines. Listen to the weekend edition of the RCWR Show. We will be coming right back, folks. Hang tight.
You're listening to the RCWR Show with your host, Lee Sanders.
Last segment, and we're going now on a strong note. I hope you guys been enjoying the show today. I always love it when we do the weekend edition over here on the RCWR Show. It gives me a chance to just kick back. Not that I don't like Diamond K. I love it when I'm doing my thing with Diamond K, but I love kind of doing my thing on Saturdays where I can just, as Marcus Phoenix says it best, as he's curb stomping the hell out of a cog, out of a locust there. Bring it! So, all right, last segment here. So we got some entertainment news that we want to talk about. First off, for you guys that like DMX, okay, I want you guys to make sure, and normally I wouldn't even recommend this channel, okay, but I want you guys to check it out. I don't watch this show, but DMX is going to be on it. You probably have seen the commercials. If not, let me give you the 411. DMX is going to be on the season premiere of, I think the name of the show is Biana, Fix My Life. I think that's the name of the show. It's on the Oprah Network, OWN. And it looks pretty freaking explosive, as at one point she asks DMX if he's high right there on the spot as they're talking, because it looks like she meets him at his studio or whatever, and apparently he has a strained relationship with his son. He hasn't seen in a year, and it got pretty explosive as he was trying to share a moment with his son, and Beyonce try to jump all in. It's crazy shit, man. It's going to be coming on tonight. Check your local listings for show times. But definitely check that out, all right? And speaking of rappers, in case you might have missed it, it looked like Rick Ross, he has gotten into some serious trouble because of that song Rape. And let me just update you guys on this, as he issued an apology over the lyrics, as basically it seems to celebrate rape, if you will. And let's give him the benefit of the doubt now. He said the following: most recently, my choice of words was not only offensive, it does not reflect my true heart. This is a statement that he had reported, that he had issued through Billboard. And for this, I apologize. Now, the Miami rapper also apologized to fans, women who felt the sting of abuse, and to young men for setting a regrettable example. And just to read some of the lyrics for the UOENO song: put Molly all in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. And he repeatedly tried to apologize, but called the lyrics a misunderstanding and a misinterpretation, as the lines were removed from the song. And Reebok, he had an endorsement deal with them. They dropped his ass like a hot cake. This is what Reebok had to say right here. While we do not believe that Rick Ross condones sexual assault, we are very disappointed he has yet to display an understanding of a seriousness of this issue or an appropriate level of remorse. This is a statement that, again, Reebok had said in a statement, according to Reuters. At this time, it is in everyone's best interest for Reebok to end its partnership with Ross. So, boy, oh boy, I tell you, man, what is up with some of these guys? I mean, we've seen guys like Toby Keith. What was the guy that did the whole, it's a country singer, are you ready for some football? I'm Monday Night Party. He got in trouble for his little potty mouth. Reverend Al Sharpton got in trouble for his mouth. Remember, he had a show at one point, and he got in trouble. So every time you turn around, we got some of these damn celebrities. I don't know what it is, but they are so hype on power and the fame, and they think that they can just kind of get away with any old thing. This is nothing like when Nas was trying to release the album Nigger. And I'm not making a joke. That's the fucking truth. If you know your rap music, you know Nas was making headlines there. He actually wanted to release an album called Nigger, but they wasn't having that. I mean, he was being fought on that by everybody. All politicians was jumping on that, so eventually he had to go with a completely different name. But I don't recall him losing endorsements over wanting to call an album with that title. But man, this is just completely on another different level right here. I got some news for you guys. Wu-Tang, they got a new album, and it's ready. It's ready for release. It's dropping in July. And they're going to be having a short tour with a string of festival dates. This is a follow-up to their 2007 8 Diagrams. And everybody's coming back. Ghostface Killer, Method Man, Raycon, You God, everybody is coming back in full force on this. And they got a couple of dates. Looks like it's kicking off actually tomorrow. They're going to be at Coachella. And I'm probably going to end up checking that out. For those of you that are going to be watching Coachella, let me know. Shoot me a tweet. I don't know, maybe we could do a hangout or something. But it looks like they're also going to be in France, Tennessee, and just a real short couple of days. Looks like everything is ending in July, as they'll be in England at the O2 Academy. So, of course, we'll have a future review of that album as soon as it becomes available. Got some Man of Steel news for you guys. You know, that's that new Superman movie that's set to be dropping soon. It looks like the way DC Comics is operating with this movie, they're hoping that it sets the tone up perfectly for other movies that they have going forward, as they are looking to bring in a whole different world of DC characters. And they point out that with Nolan's Batman, it was a great standalone, great and kind of isolated but in the world that they are approaching with the Man of Steel, it's definitely going to be possible to finally see other stars collaborate. And I think DC Comics, I think they did it right, just to kind of kick back and watch how Marvel was able to brilliantly put everything together in their Avengers movie. And honestly, if they're going to do a Justice League movie, I think we're still a couple of years away. If you were to ask me an ETA for it, it's 2013. I don't see a Justice League movie happening. I'm being realistic. 2016, maybe 17, we could possibly see an a Justice League movie, and that's the earliest. Okay, that's the earliest. More power to them. I hope it goes fairly well. Speaking of which, I know we got the Iron Man 3 movie that's going to be getting ready to come out in theaters in a couple of weeks, and we're actually going to do a very special episode of our weekend edition of the RCWR show. We're actually going to do an episode just dedicated to talking with fans that have saw the movie, get their thoughts about it. We'll review the movie too, so if you aren't going to be able to check it out that weekend, we got your hook up. We'll try to do our best not to give away too many spoilers, but we're just going to have at it on there. And Kid Rock, he's doing something that is really freaking cool, and he hopes that other musicians will do this as well. Kid Rock is going to be taking a serious pay cut this summer, as he is striking a deal that allows $20 ticket drops across the whole board. $20 off all ticket seats. Talk about unprecedented right there. Now, you know, some of these guys, they need all the money they can get. But Kid Rock, I'm going to stop right there. I don't think I could do that. I'm being for real. That's some balls right there. I just hope he won't be kicking himself in the ass later on. You're like, God damn it, I should have never did that. Now I'm broke. Let me stop. I know he's smarter than that. I got some Black Sabbath news for you guys. Black Sabbath's new album, 13, the track listings has all been revealed. And guys, you better enjoy the new Black Sabbath album for what it's worth, because from what I'm able to see, you would think that with an album called 13, maybe we would get 13 tracks. No, we only get 8 tracks. That shows you how old school these boys are. But from what I'm able to see of all the tracks, they look to be about 8-7 minutes long, with the exception of maybe 3 tracks. And the names of some of these tracks is very eye-catching. End of the Beginning, God is Dead, Loner, Zygus, Age of Reason, Live Forever, Damaged Soul, Dear Father. And currently they got a trailer up right now, teasing their album, and the artwork, it looks pretty badass. There's like a flaming 13. Looks like it's in a wooded sky area. Pretty freaking badass. That metal show news I want to share with you guys. Eddie Trunk and crew, they are just getting ready to close the deal on who all is going to be doing the show this season. And Eddie Trunk and crew, they'll be actually going out to Los Angeles to begin taping later this month. And it looks like the new season of that metal show will be premiering, I believe, sometime in June, maybe July. So a lot to look forward to right there. And last but not least, Megadeth. I got some news on them, as they have revealed the new cover art for their forthcoming album titled Super Collador, which is going to be released on June 4th through Dave Mustaine's new label, Tradecraft, which is distributed by Universal. So it looks pretty eye-catching, too. Of course, that's another one that we're going to be doing a review for on a future episode for you guys. And that is going to do it. Damn good show today. We did pretty good. All right. And that's going to do it, boys and girls. I do thank you guys so much for checking out today's show, man. Had a lot of freaking fun doing this. Probably one of our best weekend editions yet. Be Kind, Rewind. Any shows you might have missed, go back, check them out in the iTunes, Stitcher places. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. And while you are at it, go check us out on YouTube. We post a lot of goodies on there from time to time. And we love posting content on our YouTube channel for our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so. It's at the RCWR show. Remember, for all the latest and wrestling-related news and beyond, hit us up on Twitter at Infinity1Prod, also at the RCWR show, and on Facebook at Infinity One Productions. You know we got you hooked up this coming Monday night, 30-minute Raw post show. I'll give you my immediate reactions to how that episode played out, in case you might have missed it, and then join me and Diamond K on Tuesday night for the RCWR show. We'll go more in depth about Raw, key segments that is, and we'll also dive into the latest talk of wrestling headlines and beyond. Black Avenger Lee Sanders wish you guys to have a safe and pleasant weekend, and I will see you guys later in the week. Everybody be safe, be kind to one another. Take care.